I am pertinently and consciously aware all of the time about the fact that I am strong enough to crush a man's neck with my very large predatory hands. I think about this permanently. I can't imagine a world in which it is not inside of my conscious thinking all of the time. It's an option I always have. I always have the possibility of dealing with the man in front of me with brute force. And that elicits envy. And envy is one of the most powerful vibrations in the universe. Nikola Tesla says it. If you want to understand the secrets of the universe, look at it in terms of frequency and vibration. And envy is a very powerful vibration. The energy of people can be stolen from them. If you make somebody angry so that they think about you while you refuse to think of them, haters convert calories into thoughts which have your name on them. They are giving you power. Haters feed. 10 million people I've never heard of say my name each day. It's probably much more, to be honest. This is immensely powerful. Everybody knows that guy who's just lucky, but nobody considers why. Why does he always win in the end? Why do all of these bad things end up helping this guy? How does he force the universe to provide consistently? My superpower is simple. It is very easy for me to make people envious of me. All of this false virtue hate is obviously seething jealousy. I'm big and I'm rich and I'm famous and I'm important and I'm adored, and people hate being so brutally demolished in the game of life. There are men who have dedicated their lives to an average woman to achieve 3 kids at best. I have 15 and they can't stand it. They cry, I don't raise my kids, because they can't imagine how easily you can raise a clan with my type of finance. How obedient females are when you're actually important. I was literally the most Googled man alive. I have world title belts from standing over demolished opponents. I have endless finance. The list goes on and on. People stare at me and see what they could have been if only they were a little braver. If only they didn't let their wives tell them what to do. My life highlights their brutal failures and they get furious. When their wife henpecks them, they think of me, and I never ever think of them. They feed me with energy. I am made of lightning. Universal life force comes from haters. Solicit envy and steal the souls of others. This is why warriors of old wore bright feathers and gold, to highlight their superiority, to make other men jealous. Jealousy from other men makes you powerful. My haters can't stand how popular I am, not understanding they are why I am popular. All of the energy they put into saying my name helps me. It always has. It always will. It doesn't matter if they say bad things about me. It matters that they talk about me. The secrets of the universe would be found by examining energy, frequency, and vibration, said Nikola Tesla. Envy is the most powerful vibration. You are winning and you focus on winning. Losers focus on you to help you win. I wake up each day more powerful than the day before. When I become prime minister and everybody seethes, they won't understand. They put me there. This is why I seem so lucky. Why do I put on muscle so easily without steroids? Why do I make money so easily? More than you can possibly imagine. Because everybody is thinking about me all of the time. It sounds crazy, but are you smart enough to understand? I am on the mind of all of the world's females and endless haters 24/7. Tate, 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 Tate. I never think of them. I don't need to, because they work for me. I grow stronger. I am a storm far in the distance, fed by the evaporating dreams of jealous men. Men who are imagining an alternate universe in which they could match me in any realm, but they cannot, and they know it, and it angers them to their core, and the heat from their anger forces their souls to evaporate faster, and I absorb all of it. I grow stronger. I can tell you how any man can get attention from the world, and how to harness it into fuel. My blood flows at 450 miles per hour. This is a scientific fact. You must know what I know to do what I can do. Think of all the scrolling you do, all of that energy you give away. Are the people you are watching thinking of you? Are they thinking of your name? You are failing yourself. There is a finite amount of human soul on the planet, and I have the soul of at least 50,000 men because they have given it to me. This is why when I speak, you feel it. 80 men's bodies I destroyed in the ring and stole their happiness forever. They'll never forget the day I beat them. The rest of the soul was given to me via the envy of peasants. I've told you the basic framework. You've heard it before, the law of attraction, but nobody has the truth besides me. I live it and I prove it. I am saving the intricacies for students willing to learn. If you want to learn the true secrets of universal life force, how to steal the souls of other men and become more powerful than ever before, you can read thewarroom.ag. I will test you because I cannot teach everyone and I need peasants to steal from. There is no light without dark, no joy without pain. There's no brilliance without mediocrity. I need people to lose so I can win. The masses of average, unimportant men are the feeding grounds for the elite few, the worms for the birds. They exist unhappy so I can know joy. This is how the world works. Have you ever seen one of those men who walks into the room and everyone stares even though he isn't doing anything? He is full to the brim of life force, and the empty vessels around him naturally gravitate to his power. That is why people cannot stop staring. He grows even more powerful as they stare at him. Look at all exchanges in life as energy transfers, especially arguments. You want to sit and argue with your woman for the next 3 hours, screaming at her for acting a fool. She owes you energy. This will go over some of your heads. Not all of you are ready for this. Not all of you are going to understand what I'm saying. But those of you whose minds are ready to be freed will know that this makes absolutely perfect sense. It is impossible for human beings to eat food and consume calories and to use those calories thinking of your name, and for their body heat and their electromagnetic vibrations to be emitted out into the universe, and for you to not absorb the ones that have your name on it to become stronger than you've ever been. That is physically impossible. I'll argue with any physicist. I will argue with any physicist that if 100 people are in a room thinking of my name, I am physically stronger. I've experienced it. This is why I only win, because envy is the highest form of vibration. People look at my life and they see. They can't stand me. He's so big and he's rich and he's strong and all the important people still like him. And he made this video and look at this girl. And nobody cares. Everyone loves Tate. It's the Tate show. And they sit angry, bitter, and I win. So I poke them. I make them angry on purpose so that I can win even more. Like squeezing the juice from an orange. Most of you at home do not have men envious of you. If I saw your life, I would not envy it. I don't want to be you. I would feel unimportant and poor if I was you. But if people were envious of you, don't you remember that feeling when you were a child? Having the toy that everyone else wanted? Don't you remember that feeling inside of you when you had the toy the other kids wanted and you wouldn't give it to them? Don't you remember how powerful you felt? That's how I feel every day. And you don't get to feel that way because nobody wants what you have and nobody wants to be you, because you can't do anything and you don't have anything which is unique and fantastic and valuable. You need to understand these things. And strength is one of the core tenets to elicit envy. I'm not envious of Bill Gates. He has more money than me, but he's a fat old nerd. I don't care. I will grab him, but I've told you about the strength in my hands. I can't be envious of something I could easily crush. Without strength, no man will ever envy you. So it's not only about creating your life to remove the weak links. It's about preparing yourself and putting yourself in a position where you can elicit envy. Let's once again analyze this tweet. And this time I'm going to add add context to each point because it's extremely important. I understand now I'm only speaking to 10% of my audience. Ask yourself, perhaps you don't believe this. You can log off, you can go. But for the 10% of you who believe what I am telling you, who understand how it feels to have other men jealous of you, who remembers how it feels to walk into the club with the hot girl and everyone stares at her and then stares at you and is jealous, who knows how it feels to drive past in a Lambo, to drive past the bus stop in a Lamborghini and watch everybody stare, wishing their lives were different, to get the promotion when everyone else in the company didn't get a promotion. And they're furious and they're faking that they're happy for you. Well done, you deserve it. You remember, do you know, have you ever experienced that feeling? Imagine feeling that every single day. We're going to talk about this again. For those of you who understand, this is one of the most important emergency meetings I've ever done. The energy of people can be stolen from them. How do you steal people's energy? Now, what's very important about emergency meetings is I give you energy. This is a net negative for me. I have so much energy built up from all of these haters that I have some surplus that I can give you energy. I haven't read a single comment. I don't know what any of you are saying. I am giving you energy because at the end of this show, you will feel more powerful. Not me, you. Which is why you can never miss an emergency meeting. It's why they are so important. It's one of the only places you can come and get refilled with energy as opposed to giving your energy out. All the rest of the time on the internet, you're watching things and giving your energy away. I'm giving you some. And you know that's true. Because when this show is over, you'll feel motivated. So let me ask you, if you feel motivated after this show, doesn't that prove everything I just said about energy transfer is absolutely real? You can no longer deny anything I'm about to say to you because it's been conclusively proven and you have felt it yourself. There are thousands of people right now on Twitter who are going through my entire life trying to slander me and keep typing my name out into the universe. And I don't give a fuck. And I don't read it. And I don't know who they are. And I never will. I will let them post endlessly the name Tate so I can grow powerful while I ignore them and do emergency meetings. That's why I'm going to win. Because they are giving me power. Haters are feeding me. 10 million people I've never heard of say my name each day, probably more. This is immensely powerful. Electromagnetic vibrations I can detect and absorb. You can't say the name Tate without me feeling it. It's like everyone just flicking pennies into the air and they all land in my bank. Everybody knows a guy who's just lucky. Remember in high school, there was that guy who just seemed lucky, but everyone liked him. Everyone talked about him. Everybody looked at him while he walked. Remember him, the lucky guy? You never knew a lucky guy who nobody paid attention to, did you? You've never seen a guy who was ignored, who nobody paid attention to and nobody talked about, who was also very lucky. It seems to be only the guy who was discussed all the time and had everyone's attention was lucky. Now, is that coincidence? Is it causation? Is it correlation? Is it the fact that he's only lucky because he is discussed? Because he is admired? That's what gave him his luck. It is amazing to me that everybody knows a guy who is lucky, but nobody considers why. Nobody sits and says, this guy is lucky. Why is he lucky? The whys are the missing element to society today. Tate is so famous. Why? Everyone talks about the first point, including my haters. Everyone knows Tate and all these kids listen to him and he's bad. Why am I so famous? Is it because you're posting about me? Is it because you are eating food and bought an iPhone and pay an electricity bill so you can post about me? Is that why I'm so famous? I don't even know who you are. You're complaining that I'm famous and you don't want it to be true, but you're not smart enough to analyze why I'm famous as you spend your money and your time making everybody know my name. Work it out. How does he force the universe to provide so consistently? Well, my superpower is simple. It is very easy for me to make people envious of me. And when men are envious, they disguise it as hate. This is why men pretend to not like me. This is why men, false virtue garbage, pretend they are offended that I, 10 years ago, made a joke on the internet. They're not offended by their local drug dealers. They're not offended by murderers. They're not offended by Epstein. They're not offended by Gaza. They're not offended by all the people who are dying in Ukraine. They're offended by my joke from 10 years ago. And that's the only thing that truly bothers them. And it's definitely because they are morally perfect people. These people, as they jerk off to porn, as they lie, cheat, steal, like every human does, is offended by my joke. And it has nothing to do with a deep, seething jealousy. Anybody who believes that is a fool. These people are jealous of me. It is obvious, and it feels fucking great. On the days where the internet erupts with my old jokes are the best days of my life. I make more money. I get more email signups. I get more impressions. I feel fantastic. The only thing that would bother me is people not talking about me. But they can't help it because I make them envious. It is seething jealousy disguised as virtue. And it is so obvious. It is so obvious. Let me give you an example. You buy a Lambo. You get rich, you buy a Lambo. And a guy says to you, one of them stupid cars. I wouldn't buy one of them. They're impractical. I prefer just a normal car. He is lying. You know he's lying. He can't afford one. He is jealous. And he's pretending a Toyota is better than a Lambo because he can't afford what you have. Jealousy. And he's pretending he's a moral person who doesn't want to show off, which again is a lie.
Get yourself the best merch in the game and show your support to Team Inspilligence. If you're inspired, hit that like button, share this video, and subscribe for more stories of leaders changing the world. And as always, stay inspilligent and keep fighting for your dreams.